are watching AC Student Media, brought to you by the Matinee Mass Media Program at Amarillo College.
Welcome to A View from the Top. I'm Andrew Alexander, and I'm here with my fellow student and SGA colleague, Charley Meyer.
Hello, I'm excited to be here, and today we're going to sit down with Dr. Russell Lowery-Hart, Amarillo College's president.
Glad to have you on the show. Now, as president of Amarillo College, what is your role, and what are your priorities as the new president of AC?
Well, I've been president for about 6 months, so I'm still trying to figure out what my role is. I learn every day how much I have to learn. But I think my primary role is to advocate for you all as students and to represent our college and our interest both in the community and the legislature, which meeting right now. Fantastic. So I would say my priorities really are wrapped up in student success and how we can ensure that not only students get in the door, but leave with a degree or a certificate and are prepared for success either in the workplace or at their transfer university.
Now, Amarillo College was recently named a National Leader College. Now, what does that mean for Amarillo College students?
Well, it means a lot, some of which you probably won't be able to see. I mean, there are a lot of the behind-the-scenes opportunities that would get us as a college. But it really means that we're improving our efforts to help students be successful. So we were acknowledged as one of 16 colleges around the country for improving student success. We're proud of that. We've worked hard for it. And it's already provided dividends. We were invited to the White House for Community College Day of Action because we were a leader college in December. We've had access to grants that we're in the process of applying for that we wouldn't have been invited to compete for had we not been a leader college. But mainly, I think what it tells students is that as a college, we're focused on helping you, and we are receiving national recognition for our ability to do so.
Now, you already mentioned AC encouraging students to complete degrees and certificates. What specifically is AC doing to encourage them?
Well, there are 5 things that we've been trying to do, and then there's more that we have to do in the future. But we have been trying to integrate and improve our developmental education since so many of our students require developmental education. We've built a systemic approach to poverty. We've expanded our tutoring. Those are the main entities that we focused on. Expanding our tutoring has had really important dividends for the college, but I think what I've been most surprised by is how important our focus on poverty has been.
Awesome. Now, why is combating poverty such an important issue for Amarillo College?
Well, because it's such an important issue for our community. Right now, 70% of our citizens in Amarillo don't have a college degree or certificate. And when you look at the poverty rates, they're increasing significantly. In our main feeder school, Amarillo Independent School District, 67% of their graduating students are free and reduced lunch. The majority of those students come to Amarillo College. They come to us with needs that we haven't really thought about or been set up for. So in the past, we assumed that when students weren't successful, it was because they weren't motivated or they didn't have the academic skills to be successful. But through a lot of focus groups and a lot of interviews, what we've learned is that it's not just the academic skill sets that are holding students back, but the barriers of poverty and the fear about going to college, since the majority of our students are first generation. So poverty is a barrier that higher education's not traditionally been set up to address, but I think you'll notice in the next 10 to 20 years that it becomes the prevailing issue for all of higher education, not just Amarillo College.
So you've already mentioned motivation and poverty being huge barriers for success for AC students. But other than those, what do you see as one of the biggest barriers?
Well, I think our processes are complicated and difficult, and when the majority of your students are first-generation college students who've not grown up in a family that understands what MWF means, or how to navigate the names of buildings on a schedule, or even what a schedule is supposed to look like and how you read it. We've made barriers for students that don't need to be there. And those barriers aren't about intelligence or about motivation. They're just about our ignorance about what students need from us. So we have to simplify our processes. We're doing that right now. We're looking at things from applications, recruiting, all the way through enrolling in classes and clarifying and simplifying the process of identifying a career focus and giving students predetermined schedules so that you don't have to opt into classes, you have to decide to opt out of classes, so that we can make the process easier, not just to get in your first semester class, but to graduate 2 and 3 years later.
Why do you think so few people in the Panhandle are taking higher education classes?
Well, I think they're taking classes, they're not completing their degrees, and that's the biggest issue we have. We have students enrolling in Amarillo College and West Texas A&M and other schools, not at the numbers that we need, but we haven't been effective at getting students out with a degree or a certificate or helping them transfer either to university or into a job. And that's my biggest worry. We're good at getting students in the door. We're not good at keeping them in the room once they're there.
So what is AC doing to help students stay in class, complete their courses successfully, and to get out the door successfully?
Well, I think we're acknowledging who our students really are, not who we thought they were or even who we wish they were. And so that's why you have us focusing on issues like poverty and removing barriers of transportation and food and housing, and connecting our students to partners in the community. But what we have to do is to simplify the process of enrolling into a class and completing a degree. Right now we have 150 majors. So if we ask a student, what do you want to major in, and they're a first-generation college student, they don't have any clue how to answer that question or what to do with that. We need to remove the difficulty in answering those questions and simplify those majors into something that's manageable, which is why I think you'll see us focus on, 5 or 6 main endorsements that those majors can feed into. And those endorsements were identified in House Bill 5 that all of our high school students are dealing with right now. That's only going to move into Amarillo College, and we need to respond accordingly.
What exactly is House Bill 5?
House Bill 5 was a bill passed in the last legislative session that allowed more flexibility in the high school curriculum to focus on what students' interests are. So every high school student now has to graduate with an endorsement that has them exploring a career in a field that they're interested in. So like health and human services would be an endorsement that a student would get in high school. And then when they come to us, we give them 22 different health field options. So if we can connect our majors to those options that students come in with, I think we can simplify the process and streamline the process to get in and out with a degree.
So I know that there was a recent announcement for increase in tuition that AC made. Mm-hmm. What is AC going to do to help students combat that issue, especially if they are coming out of a poverty situation?
Well, I think there are a couple of things. One, we didn't make that decision lightly. We researched it more than I would care to acknowledge, and talked with students about the implications of a tuition increase. So the first thing that we have to do as a college is to leverage the scholarship money that we have available for students and connect students more directly and intentionally to that scholarship money. We have scholarship money every year that goes unclaimed and unused. We need to use that money to combat the increase in tuition. That's the first thing that we have to do. The second thing that we have to do is connect students to resources in our community that can help them overcome those financial barriers. That's why we've hired a social worker. That's why we have a social service system put in place so that we can connect students to resources, not just within the college, but within the community.
Do you think that Amarillo College will be successful in that effort in the next 5 years, do you think?
We'll have to be. Poverty is only growing in our community, but the cost of providing this education is also growing, and so we're going to have to figure that out as a community and as a college and as a student body and as a faculty. But I don't like to fail, and we're not going to fail our students in this regard. We'll find a way, whatever that is.
How do you refute the belief that AC is almost a college?
I refute it with the facts. If you look at what our students experience here and what happens when they transfer to university, the university down the road, for example, our students that complete their gen ed here at AC fare better than native students in their universities in those same major fields. We do an exceptional job of preparing our students for success, and I would pit our faculty and our curriculum up against any institution, not just community colleges, any institution in the state of Texas.
Do you believe that helping push students to getting involved in student organizations would push them closer to scholarships and help combat the poverty issues?
The more we can engage students, research tells us the more engaged students are in student activities and leveraging services on campus, the likelihood of their completion skyrockets. So yes, being involved in student organizations is critical. But we have a challenge as an institution. Our students work on average 1.7 jobs. They're going to school part-time. So we have to find different and unique ways to connect students to our engagement opportunities.
Well, thank you, Dr. Lowery-Hart, for being with us today and for sharing your insight as president of the college. We'd also like to extend a thank you to everyone for being here today and watching. I am Andrew.
I'm Charlie.
And for more information about what's going on at Amarillo College, please visit the Ranger online.